Howdy, howdy, Suitable here, and welcome to my preparation video for the next episode of the Grumbling Dwarf, which will be episode 2. I want to start by inviting everyone to participate. You know, we had two great guests in the very first one, Umaze and Aurora Boss, and we had a lot of talk about Trollhammer torpedoes, and we did our introductions, and I kind of have thought a lot about this podcast. There's so many of you guys that I talk to in the chat that are so passionate about the Dowie, and that, are passionate about different issues. Some people are the most passionate about, bolt throwers, or longbeards with great weapons, or, the lords that aren't in the game yet, or whatever it is. I talk with all of you guys so much in the chat. I want to invite everyone to come to the podcast. Now, I'll go over the sort of the structure of it, where it's going to be, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this weekly or how many episodes I'm going to do, but I want to invite everyone to come along and join in and just pop into the podcast and say hello and introduce yourself and talk about the topic that we're going to talk about. And just for anyone who where English is their second language or third language or fourth language, come along, because I know a lot of you guys will, in your very first comments on my channel said, English is my second language, so forgive me if I get something wrong. Don't ever worry about that here. You're amongst friends. English was not my father's first language, and English is not my wife's first language. So you're welcome to come along to my tavern, to my table, and have a beer with me anytime. And so I want to invite anyone who wants to come to join in the Discord and to join me this Saturday morning at noon Central Standard Time. So, and I specifically did it early because I know there are some people in Europe that wanted to be involved or show up. Jake, Woo, I'm thinking of you, A-Move Hacker, there's so many people in Europe that I know would like to pop in, come along and say hello in my second podcast. So I'll go over the structure. I see it. And so this is going to be the episode 2 of the Grumbling Dwarf. It's going to be streamed live Saturday, September 7th at 12 noon Central Standard Time. So please be in the Discord 30 minutes early and verify your Discord settings are okay. We had all kinds of technical issues the very first Grumbling Dwarf, where we couldn't get everyone's Discord working, and someone was on a phone, and then we got all on another platform, and then someone who was going to be in the first episode just came in, couldn't get into that right spot, and we had already got the episode going, and it was it's technical difficulties, but it is what it is. So I'm planning on getting together in Shetland Apache's tournament Discord, the caster chat channel. I will put a link in the description. If you do not have Discord on your phone, you can have it on your phone, and you can have it on your computer, on your laptop. If you're only going to be involved in one Discord, it's Shetland Apache's. His Discord is huge. People find games. They have the theory craft. It's absolutely an amazing place. And it's not like a forum. Like forums can get pretty intense. His Discord, people are there to help each other, to discuss things in good faith, and they've built an amazing community on that Discord, and I'll put a link in the description for there. So that's where I'm planning to pop into 30 minutes early, and just to start saying hello to everyone before we go live to air. And again, I want this to be for anyone who wants to come and chat about the Dowie. No invites. Anyone who's out there, come along. And from week to week, it's not like you come once, say your piece, and then every week, if you want to come and go, it doesn't matter. I want this to be like dropping in at your local pub for a beer. If you can only stay for a pint, well, you can only stay for a pint. If you want to come every Saturday and meet up with your friends and chat about the Dowie and our shared passion, that would be really wonderful, and that's what I would like the most. So the way we're going to do this is anyone who wants to come is welcome. Ale's on me. And when we go, we'll take turns speaking in a roundtable fashion, so we'll always go in the same order. That's some sort of worked out from the last go. So everyone has a chance to say their piece and raise their mug to the Karazhan. Like I said, people can come and go as they please. They can show up every week. It doesn't really matter. I don't know how this will go. Maybe we'll have one person. Maybe we'll have 10 people. It doesn't matter. This is your low. Maybe it'll just be me. And I once watched a video, which is my favorite video on the entire internet. Some young kid did a video called Zero Subscriber Special. If it turns out there's a week or a podcast where no one shows up, it'll just be me chatting away. For those of you who don't want to or can't get involved in the podcast, you can leave questions on this video in the chat and or in the comment section. I will try to get to them. So when you come, you will be asked for introductions. So I'll ask you these 6 questions, which are going to be the same every time, and that's introduction questions. How long have you been grumbling? What was the first dwarf lore story or game that got you interested in the Dowie or dwarfs, or is it Tolkien? Is it D&D? What's your favorite Dowie unit in Total War Warhammer? And what faction do you hate the most? What unit would you specifically like to personally launch from a grudge thrower? What factions do you enjoy beating the most as the Dowie, or seeing beat the most? And what factions give you the most trouble, or do you think the dwarves have the most trouble against? And what has you grumbling today? And it can be anything. So the topic for this week is going to be, what is in store for the Dowie in the upcoming Empire Lizardmen DLC? And I don't mean, how are the matchups going to change? I mean, are there going to be changes to the Dowie? What do you see? What do you imagine those changes could be? So the single most likely dwarf change you think, the nerf you most expect, and the dream change you'd love to see, including, maybe they drop an additional lord or hero or unit, and then we'll just do a wrap up and we'll take questions from chat. So again, if you can't be there and leave anything in the live chat, feel free to leave comments in this video for questions you like to have answered in our Red Dowie roundtable. I don't know how long it's going to go for. I'll plan for an hour, and if it takes an hour, it takes an hour. If it takes 2, it takes 2. If we have to drink each other under the table and take 10 hours to do it, it'll take 10 hours. So anyways, I hope to see you guys there. And, I especially hope to hear from some of you guys I hear from in the chat all the time. This is a very, very specific community of people that have a passion for the Dowie and dwarfs in general, and, analysis and technical aspects of the game, technical aspects of understanding things in a very deep manner. So every single person I've ever met, played with, tested with, or done anything with in this community has been absolutely amazing. And I would actually really like to meet all of you, to be perfectly honest, just to have that little chat and have everyone say their piece in this podcast. And I don't know, it's a little different from the first one. I don't know how it's going to change over time. I really don't know. But, the only way to do something is just to do it. And I don't know where this is going to go, so I'm just going to do it. And I would invite you, the only way to do something is to do it. If you don't have Discord, get Discord, test it out. If you don't know, if you haven't chatted online in Discord before, try to have headphones. And if you have a microphone, you got a microphone, but the headphones make it so your speakers don't feed back into your microphone. So, if you have a little headset, you have a little headset. If you have even a cheapo headset with a little microphone on it, you have it. But the only way to do it is to do it. So I hope to see you there. With that said, hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you Saturday. Have a good one.